York Times, the US Navy, the Pentagon, and now even Congress have all confirmed what Bob has been saying for decades. My name is AJ with Most Amazing, and these are the top 10 Bob Lazar Area 51 claims that turned out to be true, part 2. At number 10, David Grush confirms Bob's story in the Supreme Court. David Grush is a United States Air Force officer and former top intelligence official who testified to American Congress under oath during a national hearing that the US government is involved in a massive UFO cover-up, maintaining a secret program that includes the possession of non-human spacecraft and the remains of extraterrestrial pilots. What? Let's go. He also suggests that people have been literally terminated to protect these secrets. Guys, I was right all along. Grush's claims go even further, touching on the idea that UFOs might originate from other dimensions, describing encounters with colossal crafts and secret transfers to defense contractors. During this congressional hearing, he revealed information about a long-running UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program, oddly reminiscent and in line with much of what Bob has previously claimed. While skepticism persists, there's no doubt that Congress has begun taking UFOs seriously, as it's implied that the overseers of this operation seem to even outrank Congress themselves in terms of obtaining clearance. So who the hell is pulling the strings? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. At number 9 are the assassination attempts. Bob Lazar's survival amidst his explosive Area 51 claims have perplexed many. In the 80s, one might have expected a swift and ominous government response to silence him. However, Lazar employed a strategic move by going public with his revelations, despite many reports of Lazar not wanting to do so. See, eliminating him then would have fueled the conspiracy fire, lending credibility to his narrative. Lazar never wanted any of the fame. He only went public as a means of protecting himself. That's why he's been mostly quiet since, seeking refuge in anonymity and relocating far from the epicenter of his initial disclosures. Now, taking him out would have made too much noise, but the actions that the government did take to discredit Lazar actually gave us enough validation that we need. Because what does the government do when they're mad at someone with assets like Bob's chemical company? Well, they audit it with the IRS, or they use the FBI or DEA or ATF to either infiltrate said business and or put pressure on said business in many ways, like how the FBI just raided Lazar's home and place of work, and then proceeding to isolate him from his support network. I mean, that should be validating enough. I mean, ruining people's days with bureaucracy is basically the government's calling card. If you're enjoying this video so far, you can support the channel by pressing like, subscribing to Most Amazing, and ringing that notification bell. Alright, let's finally talk about aliens with number 8, Lazar's alien sighting. With David Grush confirming the fact that the government is in possession of not just craft, but actual life forms, this tidbit inadvertently confirms Lazar's alien sighting while at S4. See, the story goes that on one and only one occasion, during his employment at the secret facility, as Bob was being taken through a hallway, he glimpsed through a window that had been previously obscured and saw what appeared to be scientists with clipboards standing over a miniature chair, and in it was a small and thin gray body with elongated arms disproportionate to its small body and head. Now, Bob only got a glimpse of this for a second, and he has since managed to convince himself that what he saw in the chair was a dummy, like perhaps they were trying to deduce the size of the alien from the dimensions of the chair. But ladies and gents, why would they need to do that if they already have the bodies? You know, with all this Pentagon stuff coming out, it's only a matter of time before Corbell yanks Bobby out of the closet for another documentary. Or at least I hope so. At number 7, Bob coined Area 51. Bob worked at the secret facility near Groom Lake, where he alleged that alien technology was being reverse engineered by the government, or in other words, being taken apart to figure out how it operated in a bid to one day duplicate the technology. And that secret facility was none other than the enigmatic Area 51. I mean, almost. See, while the base notoriously known as Area 51 was definitely popularized by Bob, if we're actually going to be accurate here, he never technically worked at Area 51 proper. He actually worked at Area S4, which is about 15 miles south of Area 51, but still technically within the Area 51 compound. I mean, if you're confused, imagine S4 as sort of a subset of Area 51. Like, this may or may not be true. If you're confused, imagine S4 as sort of like a subset of Area 51. Like, if Area 51 holds all of America's sci-fi weapons and tech, S4 is the flying saucer department. Anyhow, Area 51 is adjacent to Groom Lake, with a mountain dividing it from S4 at Papoose Lake, and it's this very mountain range which conceals the hidden hangar, where all the UFOs are at. Lazar alleged that S4 is disguised with dirt and gravel coloring, but is a hangar built into the side of this mountain as to camouflage the base from onlookers and satellites. Pretty ideal spot for hiding flying saucers. At number 6, Jerry Freeman's S4 expedition. Jerry Freeman's expedition into the Nevada desert, driven by his pursuit of the Lost 49ers historical inscriptions, inadvertently sheds light on Bob's claims about S4. Despite the fact that Freeman wasn't looking for aliens or secret bases, Freeman's trek through the unauthorized desert just so happened to bring him tantalizingly close to the supposed location of S4, according to Lazar, and Freeman's encounters with mysterious lights in the night sky align eerily with Lazar's descriptions. Freeman's journey through no man's land, fraught with danger from military patrols, snakes, and the peculiar sightings on snakes and the harsh desert, led him to document the peculiar sightings on the night of April 26, 1997. These lights, situated near Papoose Lake, align eerily with Bob's description of S4's location. Freeman observed lights in the mountain range near Papoose Lake that remained stationary and appeared to get larger and smaller, as a hangar door would if it were opened and closed. Though skeptics attribute the light to mundane sources, the remote and completely isolated location and lack of apparent infrastructure make this theory highly improbable. Instead, they eerily coincide with Lazar's count of S4. At number 5 is the Majestic Clearance. Before Lazar was brought to S4, he was forced to do mounds of paperwork, from security clearances to revealing all kinds of personal information. Basically, the government gave him all the forms necessary to work on his top secret tech. Anyhow, Lazar revealed during an interview way back when that while he was completing this paperwork, the government had been updating his security clearance to a new level that they described as majestic. Now, if you're a UFOologist at heart, that word probably sounded a couple alarms in the old conspiracy lobe. See, Majestic 12, or MJ-12, is a perplexing UFO conspiracy theory which alleges the existence of a secret committee formed in 47 by President Truman to investigate alien spacecraft. However, it all hinges on disputed documents from 84, with the FBI dismissing it as completely bogus, because of course they would. Archives.gov found within their clearance only one file alluding to MJ-12, called Memorandum for General Twinning, from Robert Colleher, Special Assistant to the President, subject NCS/MJ-12 Special Studies Project, dated July 4, 1954. Refers to a briefing that did take place on July 16th. The memorandum does not identify MJ-12 or the purpose of the briefing. At number 4 is Bob's jet engine car. See, the skeptics always come marching in armed with claims that Lazar's educational and job history don't check out, because the government wiped all this history, of course. And in an effort to discredit his job, they've painted him as a high school dropout who never set foot in a lab. Oh, is that so? Exhibit A, June 1982, the Los Alamos Monitor boasts a picture. This Los Alamos Monitor newspaper boasts a picture of Bob Lazar next to a rocket-powered car he built. It's documented in history, folks, available in libraries. That's right, you guys. This man stuck a jet engine in his Honda, drove that thing to work. The man was infamous in his town, so hold on a minute. We're looking at these puzzle pieces, and they just don't fit together. It's like trying to make 2 + 2 equals something other than 4. See, the dude is clearly a genius who thinks outside the box. I mean, if I was MJ-12, I'd be looking for people like Bob. Bob's revelations about how, even within cherished top-secret programs, the divisions regarding this are heavily segmented such that no one person gets the whole picture. The UFO phenomenon, which is often sidelined as an oddity, epitomes this separation of knowledge. Lazar's revelations change the belief in authoritative institutions' reliability, given their concealment of truths. This should question our trust in these institutions, but UFOs remain sidelined. Imagine if UFOs entered mainstream discourse, reshaping our understanding and solving problems. Breaking down these barriers reveals endless possibilities, inspiring us to question what else they're hiding and what realities lie beyond our current beliefs. At number 2 is alien tech. Bob Lazar made some astonishing claims about extraterrestrial technology, and one of the most jaw-dropping was the propulsion system of these alien saucers. Lazar described how the craft wouldn't fly like a traditional saucer because the gravity amplifiers were under the craft, but this idea was scoffed at. Fast forward to today, and we're shown Pentagon released footage showing UFOs performing precisely as he described, rotating at high speeds with gravity-defying maneuvers belly first. Then there's the element 115, or Moscovium. Lazar asserted that it was the key to alien propulsion, and skeptics laughed since no such element even existed. But today, we've synthesized it, only in unstable forms lasting milliseconds of course, yet Lazar sticks to his claim of a stable isotope powering these craft. And finally, the material of these UFO defies conventional engineering. Described back in the 80s as liquid titanium, but more comparable to a 3D printed like single unit in the modern day, the uniform, rivetless, and seamless structure of the spacecraft is like a smooth cast iron model of a TTC bus compared to an actual rickety TTC bus. I swear, it feels like those things are gonna fall apart at the seams any minute. If you want to know more about the alleged alien tech and how it works, you can check out part 1 of this series. But before you do, let's reveal our top spot today with number 1, Colm Kelleher, a program manager deeply enriched within the government's largest covert endeavor, who recently disclosed on Jeremy Corbell's live stream an astonishing revelation. Kelleher boldly confirmed that the United States has successfully intercepted and acquired UFOs of enigmatic origin. This revelation sends ripples through the long-standing mystery surrounding Area 51 and Bob Lazar's contentious claims, because for decades, skeptics dismissed Lazar's assertions of reverse engineering an alien spacecraft at Area 51 as mere conspiracy fodder. However, Kelleher's confirmation adds a substantial layer of credibility to Lazar's controversial narrative. It forces us to confront the possibility that there exists a clandestine world of groundbreaking technologies and extraterrestrial encounters which remain hidden from public view. This admission opens a Pandora's box of questions about how much our government truly knows about advanced extraterrestrial technology and the implications for our understanding of it in the universe. Big shout out to AetherMaster1153 who commented on part 1, quote, "Actually, element 115 creates zombies." Sure does, according to Black Ops. Thanks for commenting, homie. And as always, if there's a Bob Lazar Area 51 claim that turned out to be true that you think I've missed, feel free to let me know down in the comments. This has been AJ with Most Amazing, and I'll catch you all in another video. Later.